Okay, so me,
we're on a paddleboard right now.
we were taking Monty on it, but
What happened to the dog, Bob?
he was messing around and he got scared.
Yeah.
So our mummy, she really wanted to go paddleboarding, but she offered to go in the van and stay with Monty. So we're just with Daddy and Charlie. It's just the dream team.
The dream team. And what do people need to do to make sure that the YouTube channel keeps going forward, Bob?
Subscribe! Smash it!
Comment down below
of how amazing we are.
And what about likes? How many likes do you want from this video?
10,000.
10,000. I think you can get it, Bob, if you ask for it.
Yeah, we can
Nicely.
get it. Please, can you give us 10,000 likes?
Please.
Well, good morning everybody and welcome to yet another Sunday morning show in association with Golfing Days. Now, I am actually away on holiday at the moment. I just needed a timeout. Said it in a previous Sunday morning show that it had broken me. Phoned Laura and said, look, just let's get a trip away. Half-term break with the kids. Let's get down to Cornwall. Let's go and chill out. Let's get by the beach. So that's what we've done. So I promised that I would be no cameras. So I've taken the dog out for a walk. Puppy. Monty boy. So where are we? Well, we're in a little place called Loo, about an hour and a half from where we live, not too far over the Tamar Bridge. Great place to do some paddleboarding. Not a great deal of surf, but there is a little beach down here that helps you out and gives you a few waves, but nothing too major, which is perfect for the kids, to be honest. We are actually heading over to Trevose Golf Club because we want to get out onto the little 9-hole course, which is about 40 minutes away. We're going to get over there with the kids. The kids want to play a little bit of golf. We might even play a little bit of putt-putt when we're down here as well. So still a little bit of golf going on because the kids do enjoy it. So one thing that I want to talk about just quickly with you guys is just about how the channel's going. Now, the reason why I set this channel up was to share my experiences within the game of golf. Whatever I learn, I could pass that on to the audience, to you guys. And having a YouTube channel kind of behind you allows you the opportunities to meet amazing people within the game. People that I would never have normally met just being a professional at a golf club. So having the channel allows me the opportunity to travel and see and meet these people and share the experiences with you guys. Now, the Sunday morning show is flying along absolutely fantastically. The vlogs are something that I really enjoy doing. It's something that I really enjoy getting on the golf course with the best players I can possibly get hold of to share with you guys some of the best golf possible, improving the quality of production by putting on more cameras, doing as much as we possibly can to give you a great experience and hopefully you learn something from it at the same time as being entertained. Now, the vlogs obviously cost a lot of money. The channel not necessarily growing in a way that I know a lot of you would like to see. However, there's something that you might be able to do to help this along the way. YouTube's algorithm is hard work at times. Understanding it can be a little bit tricky, certainly for someone like me. But things like comments, things like giving a video a thumbs up. Now, I know a third of the people watching this video watch it on a TV, therefore might be a little bit harder to, let's say, give the video a thumbs up or even comment down below. But I'd like some feedback from you. How do you feel like the channel is going down in the comments? But I'd also like to understand why you don't, let's say, comment and why you don't always give it a thumbs up. Down in the comments, let me know. But I've got a little nugget for you. This is something that I've had in the bank for a little while. I did some filming down at St Mellion with Joe the Pro and James Ruth on the Sunday show not long ago, a couple of weeks ago. And Joe the Pro had a couple of tips that he wanted to share with you around short game and around the practice session. Let's get back to St Mellion and share with you what Joe has to say.
So for me, I think a lot of people suddenly decide they're not good chippers or refer back to technique and things like that. Some of the best short game people I've ever played with, I've been lucky, I've played with 4 major champions, and you see your Mickelsons and people like that are the best readers of a lie. Yeah. And I think that's one of the most, when I play pro-ams and stuff, people have picked out the club they're going to hit before they've even got to the ball. Yeah. And have decided what shot they're going to play. But if you watch any tour pro, watch Jimbo, watch anyone, the first thing you do when you miss the green is get up and you're inspecting the lie to see what is achievable to start with. You can't just go, all right, I'm stuck behind this bunker, I've got to play a flop shot. Yeah. If you're down in a cuppy, muddy line, you can't physically get the club under the ball, then you've ruined the shot before you've even played it. It's not possible to achieve what you're actually trying to achieve. So people need to start reading lies like they're reading putts, in my opinion. It's almost as important, and the only way you can start to read lies is to start getting some experience of different lies. What you see when people are practicing chipping, if you go and watch at the club or any of the things that I've seen in the past, people get their bag of balls, find a spot, look at a flag, and just keep dropping the ball, putting it on a nice little tuft, and chipping shots away because they think they're working on technique or developing feel and touch, and that's got a time and a place. If you are having a lesson and you need to work on technique, that's got a time and a place to bed in. But what you really need to be able to do is to be able to judge how a ball is going to come out. So Jimbo's chucked one down here for me already. If I miss this green here, you're looking at what have we got here? So we're on the 9th at the Kerno, short right of the green. We've got a bunker, we're going downwind, and we've got 12 foot of green to work with. So if I came up to this and just decided, well, I'm going to flop this up, and I got the lie that James has given me here, there's mud all around it, it's sat down in a cut. I just can't get the club underneath the ball enough to get the elevation with an open club face. So because if I open that up, the leading edge pops up and it's going to hit the equator of the ball, and we're going to hit it thin. So I've got to suddenly then get the leading edge under the ball. So the only way I can do that is by getting my hands maybe slightly more neutral or even ahead, which takes loft off the club, which means I can't achieve the height I need to stop it. So I can either ignore that belligerently and just try and flop it up and leave it in there or thin it over the back, or I can alter my expectations. So my expectations go from, if I got up and got this lie, perched up like a dream, I can get the club under the ball and I can just hit an easy flowing shot that just pops up in the air. I would hope to get that within 6 or 7 feet most of the time. My expectation with that one all of a sudden goes to, I just need to make sure I'm on the green here with a potentially feasible putt for par, and I'm not going to walk off with a double or whatever else. And this is, I'm a decent player, I play at a decent level, so guys at an amateur level in mid-level handicaps, you maybe even need to alter those expectations a little bit more from there. You might even contemplate going round the bunker with a 7 or 8 iron. I think if I was caddying for a 15 to 20 handicapper here, I wouldn't let them take it over the bunker in a direct line with a pin. I'd give them a 9 iron or an 8 iron and bundle it to as close to pin high left, take 2 putts and move on. You've made bogey, you're out of position. The mistake was made with the second shot. Don't make another one with the third one, would be my thoughts there.
And not just handicap, is it? Because there's so many good golfers out there that excel off the tee to green or whatever, but they just struggle with their short game. Emotionally, they struggle. There could be scratch golfers that struggle with their short game.
Are you venting here, Dan?
I'm venting from previous experiences, but so not just 15 handicappers, 12 handicappers. This could be scratch handicap golfers. This could be pros that struggle with their short game, and they make up for it by playing the shot that you're talking about, going left of the trap and getting themselves back into position, making their bogey.
Do you remember Tim Clark, the South African player?
I do.
Won the Players' Championship, got up to world number 15, I think.
Yeah.
And he had dreadful problems with the short game. I watched him at the Grove at Watford in that WGC event that Tiger won. Similar place to this, but he had what looked like a reasonable lie from where we were. And he just didn't take the bunker on. He just bundled a 7 iron back to the front of the green, 2 putted for his par, and moved on because he knew that wasn't in his probably, and he knew that wasn't in his skill set. So he didn't take on a shot. He wasn't uncomfortable. This sounds like a lecture James has just been giving me, actually. Didn't take on a shot he wasn't comfortable with just because he thought it was the shot that you should play. Yeah. He played what he knew was going to get him around in the fewest amount of strokes, and that's golfing IQ. That's the stuff that's separating, say, James from the other regional players at the moment. That's the stuff that separates maybe a decent pro from a 1 or 2 handicapper. Yeah. You'd all look similar on the driving range. You'd probably be able to execute the same shots under most similar circumstances, but picking the right shot at the right moment, understanding the nuances of what a lie will allow you to achieve and playing accordingly is probably crucial to most people's development. And if you want to go on to the way to practice it, I think if practicing technically, the best way to go around a chipping green, James said with 1 ball, he does it that way. I like to take 3 and just chuck a handful that way. So this one's perched up nice. I've got plenty of room under the ball. I can slide the club nicely under the ball. And I can get a nice soft floaty one that I can play with. This one here, not as much grass under the ball, it's nestled a bit. I probably won't be able to get that height, so I'm now looking 6 or 7 foot past probably. It's come out a bit lower, it's releasing, it's done well actually, that's done a lot better than I thought. It pitched really, really well, but it came out lower, so I know when it's nestled down and I can't get the club under the ball, my flight changes. I know that from experience, so I can adjust accordingly. And then I've got probably something in the middle of them both here, so I can do a bit of everything with this one. So I'll probably just open it up again and just try and slide it under, and it's come out a bit higher and a bit softer, but with a little bit more release. So it's, if you want to do on the fairways, you get cuppy, you get muddy. A really tight lie might come out lower with more spin. If it's perched up, it's going to come higher off the club base, so it might come out a bit hotter with a bit higher, but with less spin. It's all these tiny little variables which then alter your decision on where you might choose to land the ball, depending on what spin and what height and what trajectory it's going to come out. And the only way to establish that is through a few hours of trying things out of different lies and feeding the computer that is your brain, so you know in tournament circumstances, okay, that tight lie does come out a little bit like that. Where's my landing spot? That's probably changed now. So that's my tip. Vary lie in practice to make sure you're developing your golfing IQ and your understanding of lies.
Is that the go-to snack on the golf course? Right, question for you. This is from Lee Jones. What is the best bit of advice? Oh look, something else has joined us. What's the best bit of advice that you can give a 9-year-old with regards to golf?
So hit it hard and it doesn't matter where it goes.
Yeah.
Really? Is that the bit of info that we want to give out?
Yeah.
Hit it as hard as you can. Yeah? Is that what I always tell you as you're 9? Yeah? What about you, Bob?
8.
I know you're 8, but...
Rip it.
So for me, Lee, growing up, I would say that one of the focal points for, certainly if I think back to me and Paul growing up playing our golf, was, you know, come on Dan, slow it down, get it into position, all of these things. And if I think about some of the players that I went up against, who were so much stronger or longer than what we were, you're up against it really, because you're going in with clubs that are 2, even 3 clubs longer compared to the players that we were playing against. So over a period of like 10 rounds, you may be better than them, but ultimately they're going to beat you because they're getting it that much closer to the hole. And I suppose strokes gained, statistics from tour, things like that have given us the opportunity to understand it maybe a little bit more. So if your child is looking to, let's say, get into golf long term, then definitely speed training is a big thing. But there's so many different areas of the game of golf that you have to get right, and you can't just focus on one. But if there was one that I would say stay clear of, is that don't tell your kid to just get it into position. You know, get your kid to understand that getting it as far down there as you possibly can is only going to help them develop long term. Another holiday done. However, before we finish off this Sunday morning show, there's 2 things I want to talk about. That is who's going to be the winner of the year's supply of golf balls by Titleist. We had 120,000 views from the videos that we put out on different social media platforms and obviously here on YouTube. So a big thank you to everybody that got involved in that particular giveaway. However, you are doing a climbing challenge.
We are, yes.
What are you doing?
On the 24th of June, my friend Kelly and I are doing the National Three Peaks. We are starting in Scotland and going up Ben Nevis, whizzing over to the Lake District to go up Scafell Pike, and then finishing in North Wales going up Snowdon.
And you're trying to raise money?
We're raising money for the Cystic Fibrosis Trust.
Right.
Cystic fibrosis affects nearly 11,000 people in the UK. And it's a generic condition that doesn't have to be limiting. The Cystic Fibrosis Trust provide vital research to help people living with cystic fibrosis. Having met a young child with the illness, we've realised how important it is, and we want to do our bit to raise some money.
Fantastic. Well, what I will do is I will be putting a link down in the description of this video, which will go over to Laura and Kelly's Just Giving page. So if you want to do anything, if you can give anything for this fantastic charity, then please head down to the description of this video and you can click on the link and it will take you straight to their page. And then finally, Mike Halliday. Congratulations, Mike. You are going to be receiving a year's supply of Pro V1Xs by Titleist. A big thank you to everybody for getting involved. So make sure, Mike, you send me a quick email, dh@dhgolf.co.uk, and we'll make sure we get those golf balls sent out to you through Titleist. I think that's it for this week's Sunday morning show. Don't forget, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you again next Sunday.